Rumors of a Harry Potter reboot have been circulating for years, and in April of 2023, WB finally confirmed it is in fact happening. But what exactly do we know so far? What are the rumors versus the facts? People of the internet, RetroRaconteur here, and in this video, I'll be covering everything we know so far about the Harry Potter reboot. Everything starts with Max, formerly known as HBO Max, which will be the home for a new television series, a retelling of the original 7 Harry Potter books. Early rumors said 1 book per season, but now we know that won't be the case. Max announced their plans for this to be a decade-long series.
Over the course of the next decade, David wanted me to make sure you heard me say next decade, 10 years.
My guess would be the first few books will match the 1 book per 1 season rate, but once we hit Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix, I would expect things to stretch out a bit more. All of this will ultimately be decided by the writers and showrunners once they're in place. It's also important to keep in mind the series is very much in the early stages of development, with no writers or cast in place as of early 2024. Given this information, many don't believe we'll see the series until late 2025 at the earliest, but more likely sometime in 2026. The series is not expected to delve into the events of the Fantastic Beasts films, which focused on a younger Albus Dumbledore and the rise of the Dark Wizard Grindelwald. Oh, and also that Newt Scamander guy. Now, producer David Heyman is one of the men who played a significant role in originally bringing the series to the big screen. He produced all 8 of the Potter movies and each of the 3 Fantastic Beasts films. Early reports say that discussions are currently ongoing about bringing him back to produce this new adaptation. On the other hand, David Yates, who directed the final 4 Potter films and 3 Fantastic Beasts movies, is not expected to be involved with the television series. As for the cast, fans should prepare for completely new faces. None of the original actors are expected to reprise their roles. There are some rumors we could see cameos and even speculation about previous actors in new roles, such as Tom Felton possibly taking on the role of Lucius Malfoy. On the other hand, Harry Potter actor Daniel Radcliffe told comicbook.com, "My understanding is that they're trying to very much start fresh, and I'm sure whoever is making them will want to make their own mark on it, and probably not want to have to figure out how to get old Harry to cameo in this somewhere." Radcliffe went on to say, "So I'm definitely not seeking it out in any way, but I do wish them, obviously, all the luck in the world, and I'm very excited to have that torch passed. But I don't think it needs me to physically pass it." Of course, fans online have enjoyed speculating and giving their own dream lists of actors and actresses they'd like to see in these iconic roles. If you've heard or seen specific names and people claiming that they're confirmed, that is absolutely not the case. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of rumors out there, but we've seen no confirmation from WB or author J.K. Rowling. Speaking of Rowling, she is confirmed to be involved as the executive producer. She put out a statement with the announcement saying, "Max's commitment to preserving the integrity of my books is important to me, and I'm looking forward to being part of this new adaptation, which will allow for a degree of depth and detail only afforded by a long-form television series." Max's chairman and CEO echoed Rowling's statement and assured fans the plan for this series is to dive deep into each of the iconic books, and that it would be a faithful adaptation of the original series. Now, while those films are beloved by fans around the world, there's no denying the extensive cuts that had to be made to bring them to the big screen. Hopefully, a decade-long TV series will be able to explore some of the more intricate plot details and even characters that didn't make it into the movies. I'm one of those people who really appreciates the original series and everything they did to bring the world of Harry Potter to life, but I also feel they pale in comparison to the books. There were so many details the movies left out. Others they changed significantly, and even main characters who were changed to fit the mold of Hollywood writers. One of the most obvious examples of this is Ron Weasley, a character the movies used mostly for comic relief.
Why couldn't it be follow the butterflies?
Neville Longbottom plays a much more prominent role in the first few books than he does the movies. And how can we forget the relationship between Harry and Ginny, which never had the same chemistry on screen as it did in the books? There's also the complete absence of the Marauder's backstory, as well as significant details about Tom Riddle's childhood. Then you have Half-Blood Prince, which does very little to explain the meaning behind that title and why that reveal of it being Snape is such an important moment for Harry. Don't even get me started on the attack on the Burrow. Then you have the characters that didn't make it into the films at all, like Peeves, Charlie Weasley, Winky the House Elf, Professor Grubbly Plank, and several others. So hopefully we'll get to see a story that does a better job with those specific issues. Now, I know there were a lot of fans who weren't too excited when this announcement first dropped. After all, Deathly Hallows Part 2 just released in 2011. Of course, you do have the fact that the original cast and the characters they played are so incredibly iconic, with many of them being synonymous unanimous with those roles. Do we really need a Harry Potter reboot? Personally, I would have preferred seeing spin-off stories or even a series focused on Harry's life after Hogwarts. But admittedly, they kinda already tried this with the Fantastic Beasts movies and the Cursed Child stage play. There were a number of issues with both of those, but I hope that doesn't prevent them from trying again at some point down the road. I think there are so many rich stories waiting to be told in this world, but they have to go about them in the right way. That being said, I still am looking forward to the TV series. I was one of those people who was a fan of the books long before they were turned into movies, so I think that may be why I'm looking at the series with maybe a little more optimism than most. Now, one question you may be asking is, why now? Well, one of the big reasons we're finally seeing this is a renewed focus from Warner Brothers Discovery to showcase their biggest franchises, of which Harry Potter is certainly one of them. President and CEO David Zaslav has made it very clear he wants to be doing more with their most iconic characters, and this has been a focus of his since the merger of Warner Media and Discovery that happened back in April of 2022.
This is who we are. This is what we do. We tell stories.
It's not just a new television series, though, when it comes to the wizarding world of Harry Potter. WB is looking to capitalize on the immense success of the video game Hogwarts Legacy, which sold more than 22 million copies last year. Recent comments from a top WB executive dropped a few hints as to what fans can expect, and I've already broken that down here in another video. Definitely check that one out next. Also, I want to give a big shout out to all of our RetroRaconteur members who help make these videos possible. You can become a member too by looking for the join button below this video. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.